starting off first by getting you the latest on our continuing coverage on the ASEAN summit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third day in Manila began with a bilateral meeting with the Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. Later in the day, Prime Minister Modi will hold a series of bilateral talks with world leaders, including Vietnam Prime Minister, Japanese Prime Minister and with the newly elected New Zealand Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi will also attend the East Asia Summit, where leaders are expected to delve deep into issues relating to maritime security, terrorism, non-proliferation and migration. The Prime Minister will also participate in the meeting of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, known as RCEP, where negotiations for a free trade pact will be discussed. Prime Minister Modi will then address the ASEAN-India Summit, where he will touch upon various issues including trade and terrorism. Trade ties between India and ASEAN are on an upswing, and both sides want to further boost trade and investment cooperation. According to reports, investment from ASEAN to India has been over $70 billion in the last 17 years, accounting for more than 17% of India's total FDI. On the other hand, India's investment in ASEAN during the same period has been more than $40 billion. It was a packed day indeed for Prime Minister Modi as the ASEAN summit kicked off in Manila, the capital city of Philippines. The Indian Prime Minister was welcomed by the Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte and his wife at the opening ceremony of that summit. But that's not the only welcome the Prime Minister received. Leading newspapers featured full-page advertisements welcoming the Indian Prime Minister, some with captions that said, "Long live Modi." Others spoke about the need to deepen India's trade ties with the Philippines. As if in response, Narendra Modi addressed a business summit in Manila and made a push for his pet project, Make in India. He highlighted his minimum government, maximum governance policy and hailed New Delhi's efforts to push for the adoption of digital transactions and simplify laws and rules to start a business.
One of the major themes of this summit is entrepreneurship. We have launched a campaign called Make in India. Through this initiative, we are committed to transform India as a major player in the global value chain. We want to make India a global manufacturing hub. At the same time, we want our youth to be job creators, not just job seekers.
Prime Minister Modi also met the Indian diaspora in the Philippines. In his address there, he underlined the importance of the South Asia region, highlighting his government's Act East policy.
आप लोग आकर के मुझे आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं, मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं, जिस मकसद के लिए देश ने मुझे काम दिया है, उस मकसद को पूरा करने में मैं कोई कमी नहीं रखूंगा.
The Quad or Quadrilateral, bringing together the United States, Japan, India and Australia, is now up and running after the first official level meeting in Manila. Quad heads of state have also met separately and issued statements. So what exactly is that quadrilateral all about? Here's more.
It's rare for 3 U.S. Navy aircraft carriers to be present during one exercise. But in the seas off the Korean peninsula, the nuclear-powered USS Reagan, Roosevelt and Nimitz were taking part in a 4-day drill as a counter to North Korean saber-rattling.
We want our partners in the region to be strong, independent, and prosperous, in control of their own destinies, and satellites to no one. These are the principles behind our vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific.
The key for us is to ensure very close bilateral cooperation so as to bring peace and stability on the ground.
Important also that the exercise coincided with the meeting of 4 leaders of the Quad, or Quadrilateral, in Manila on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit. So what is the Quadrilateral? It comprises the US, Japan, India, and Australia. They have come together as a counter to China. It reflects the concern that China, by claiming the South China Sea, will threaten freedom of navigation. Together, the Quad will be able to check China's expansion into the Indian Ocean. They will offer an alternative to China's Belt and Road Initiative, which is seen as not sustainable, non-transparent, and designed to boost China's trade and industry at the cost of other countries. India does not see the Quad as a military alliance, but there's no doubt the four countries together represent a significant political and military force. Since China would not like India to be part of any military alliance, it may moderate its policy towards India. In the long term, the strategic challenge for India comes from China, to the extent that membership of this group provides India political, diplomatic, and military leverage against China. The Quad serves its purpose. Bureau Report, WION.